Marginalized sector. Disadvantaged or vulnerable groups who are often in a state of poverty and who would find it difficult to get out of difficult situations and are generally referred as marginalized sector or groups. Workers. They are the workforce that offer labor in establishments in exchange for wages. Social vulnerability. The potential negative cost on communities caused by external stress on human health. Such stress includes natural or human-caused disaster or disease outbreaks.
Filipino workers that belong to the marginalized sector are vulnerable in the society because despite being employed and working hard, almost all of them still remain poor. By analyzing the economic structure of the labor market in the Philippines, the reasons why in-work poverty exists is because of the scarcity of productive job opportunities and low education of the poor. The World Bank classified work into two categories: good jobs and bad jobs. Good jobs can be identified as formal, permanent, and offer social protection, while bad jobs can be identified as temporary, casual, informal, precarious, low paid, and lack of social protection. Yes, we can say that the Philippine economy has been steadily growing from the past years, but the issue is that many of the newly created jobs are precarious and low paying, which means they fall under the bad job category. We all know that almost all of the good jobs that are available in our economy require us to have a high educational attainment. But since many poor Filipinos have low educational attainment due to several reasons, they are stuck working on these bad jobs. And in order to compensate for their low salary, they are forced to demand additional working hours or even have an additional job. Another reason why marginalized workers are socially vulnerable is because they experience hardships on transportation going to their jobs. Based on the purchasing power of these underpaid workers, they can only afford to use public transportation such as jeeps and ordinary buses. But in the news or on social media, we see a lot of problems on our urban transport. And one example of it is crowded public transportation. Every morning, buses and jeepneys are packed with factory workers, construction workers, vendors, and other labor forces trying to get to work. This is their struggle every working day of their life. Chasing after and riding ordinary buses can be very hazardous. One needs to have strong and athletic legs because buses would often stop just for a few seconds and swiftly drive away to catch another batch of passengers at the next corner. This is very unfortunate for some people, especially the elderly, women, or children who were often pushed aside trying to get on the bus.
Citizens of our society are certainly dedicated to acquiring jobs that would eventually take them out of poverty. However, despite their commitment and diligence for this to happen, they are being delayed with the society's situation of minimal job offerings and opportunities, thus resulting in a confined and difficult situation to get out of poverty. The unemployment rate of Filipino people is affected by various factors that result in continuous growth in the number of unemployed citizens. Scarcity of job opportunities circulates on the lack of skilled and experienced applicants, and the oversupply of the labor force in certain industries, resulting in their incapability of offering jobs. In addition, the industry's heightened expectations of applicants even though they are fresh graduates with minimal employability skills. However, along with this is the refusal of the work offer due to the provided duty but mismatches the skills known of the applicant, or the employer discriminates and provides unreasonable job requirements. Hence, with these reasons, the number of unemployment arises as this system continues, which subsequently results in the inflated chances of not breaking out of poverty.
One of the reasons why Filipino workers dedicated their lives to empowering communities and enhancing society's overall well-being is because they remain committed to their vocation's values in order to ensure the welfare of the poor, marginalized, and vulnerable sectors of society, despite the difficulties they may face in their work. However, in this sector, where contractualization is one of the most severe difficulties our country is experiencing, people are lacking of permanent employment. They may work for a company for as little as 5 to 6 months. As per the status of our society, there are still a massive number of poor Filipino workers that suffer from not being able to obtain what they deserve. They lack benefits, get insufficient pay, and are unsure whether they can return to the company and sign another contract. One of the examples of it is they use cost-cutting strategies similar to those employed by companies. They avoid regularizing employees, and therefore, the process of giving benefits such as 13th month pay, annual leave, health benefits, and social security benefits, thus lowering employment costs and business spending. Numerous businesses hire seasonal employees to enhance their output during the peak months and then release them when their abilities are no longer needed. This employment system disproportionately affects low-wage earners, part-time employees, and working students. Also, this occurs to a large number of people available to work for a low wage.